we have a special guest in studio. For those of you not familiar, Mike is a Vegas local. He is also the president of the Nevada chapter of Stand with Crypto. And he's joining us in studio. What a great day, because there's a lot of talk with the Genius Act. And what better person to break that down than the guy who's literally been in Washington, D.C., talking to a lot of these representatives. Mike, welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
David, Rob, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
You've
man.
done a great job with the show here.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
no
Thanks for
worries.
joining us. Mike, I want to ask you real quick, what are your thoughts on Bitcoin's rally? New
Yeah.
all-time high.
Yeah,
Are you disappointed it didn't sustain, or you still hopeful?
it's going to hold.
You think so?
I do. I'm not a trader, so not financial advice, but I see it going up all the way through October this year.
Yeah. You think it's going to be more like a slow and steady grind?
We'll see some news that'll probably push it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sovereign
mean,
wealth fund news.
more nation states are buying it. More millionaires and billionaires are getting interested. More
We still got Michael Saylor if all else fails,
Of course. Well, he's not going away.
He's definitely not.
He's going to
away.
keep buying it.
Yeah. Okay, Mike. So we had the Genius Act, right? There was a cloture vote, which we talked about yesterday. That essentially means, hey, you can't filibuster this thing, and you can only have another 30 hours of deliberation and whatever before this thing has to go for a full Senate vote. Today, we had news that the consideration was voted. Can you tell us about the political landscape? You were, you mentioned before we went on live that you were in D.C. What did you get from your trip there, and where are we at with a lot of these? The Genius Bill, I don't know if it's the Fit 21 bill or like kind of like the crypto regulatory bill. Where do we stand in that, and what are your thoughts on when those things are going to get passed and whether they're going to be good or bad for crypto?
I think it's good for crypto. We need common sense regulation. So we're excited about it. I spent the whole day in congressional meetings on Capitol Hill. We visited representatives from New Mexico to Arizona to Nevada and Colorado and so many others. And there were 60 founders that were there in the same meetings with all your representatives from all over the country. And it's really making a difference. The people watching today can make a difference. Your voice really does matter. And standwithcrypto.org is where we're all gathering. So we know in Nevada there's 400,000 people who own crypto based on Coinbase's numbers. So we know there's a ton of people here just in Nevada, but there's 52 million Americans that own crypto.
A lot.
And if just a small percentage of you guys would go to Stand With Crypto and check it out, each representative gets a grade. So
Yeah.
you can see if a politician is crypto friendly or not. And standwithcrypto.org is doing absolutely incredible work, rallying the troops and making sure that people's voices are heard. These bills will pass. The
You think
feeling
most of them will pass?
I think they will. There's a market structure bill, which
By the way, Mike, sorry to cut
Yeah.
you off, my friend, but this is what Mike was talking about with the grades. If you go to standwithcrypto.org, as Mike mentioned, you can see here Cynthia Lummis, strongly supportive, their role, where they're from, and their party. And then you can see kind of where your senators and representatives, where they land. Surprised Elizabeth Warren didn't get a better score, Very surprised, strongly against.
Yeah.
And so this is a great tool. And I'll tell you what, Mike, this past election, I was first time I was really excited to vote because crypto was on the line.
Right.
And I'll tell you from a personal standpoint, this is not fluff. I use this because I don't like just so many representatives and this, I don't know who, I don't have time to keep track of that. I've got so many things going on, and using a resource like this was able to help me kind of make the right decision.
So you can find your local representative right there on the website. And new grades are coming out, guys. New grades are coming out after this vote. So we know now where people really stand. But we had an opportunity to really make an impression just by showing up in Washington, D.C. and going through Capitol Hill. And it was absolutely
Is
incredible.
there
experience.
excitement? You feel excitement from some of these representatives and senators with crypto and wanting to get these bills passed?
Yeah, I'll tell you some of my experiences. So with one in particular, he said his wife ran a CBD company and she was debanked. She was unbanked.
Wow.
Couldn't use the bank. So this is where stablecoins really kind of come in and fit the bill. Also worth mentioning, on the very same day that we were there, all the banks were there. All the
Really?
banks flew in. They must have known. I don't know. But I ate lunch next to
Probably.
a table full of bankers, and we got along great. But they weren't happy that we were there, and I'm certain that we made a lot of change, and there's a lot of people behind us. And there was even one representative that said, "Hey, Gary Gensler needs to be tried for treason." So I mean, that's
Who
people
is that? Who is
understand.
that senator?
I don't want to reveal. I don't want to reveal everything.
I'll
But
say we'll give him
they're
a
out
round
there.
of applause on the show.
He deserves
Yes,
it.
we
He
agree.
deserves it. He may be from Arizona, but
Okay,
I'll
fine.
tell you what.
We'll take it.
But I'll tell you what, people know now this war against crypto is over. And my message to the representatives, and maybe yours should be too, is let's keep innovation in America. And for me personally, let's do it here in Nevada. I mean,
Amen.
we're doing great work here, and we need to stay on the forefront of innovation. Why are we sending all this offshore stuff when we can keep them here? And
Amen to that, man.
Coinbase spent $150 million, defending themselves throughout the years. So they're doing great. They could have offshored. They could have
Right.
went like every other Binance, all the others, but they're all coming back now because regulations are opening.
We're definitely in an exciting time, Mike, and I think you hit the nail on the head. And I think that's one of the big reasons that a lot of the crypto community voted for, the Republican side of the aisle. Let's face it, they're more pro-crypto, especially the head of the helm, right, President Trump. But Mike, I do want to ask you before we let you go. I know there's a few things going on. You're pretty plugged into the crypto scene, not just in Nevada, but globally, but definitely in Nevada, as mentioned. You are the president of the chapter here. What are some exciting things people can look forward to? I know tomorrow is National Bitcoin Pizza Day. Is anything going on there?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're working with Pizza DAO, Stand with Crypto, Base. I've partnered with Matcherino, so we're doing an esports tournament. It's going to be an incredible day tomorrow at Velocity Esports. And so if any of your viewers are here in Las Vegas, or you're planning to come to Vegas, you got to look us up. We're Vegas Crypto Group on meetup.com. We have our website, informempower.com, that has all our events listed there. But the big one is tomorrow, Global Bitcoin Pizza Day. We'll have pizza from all around the city. We're going to have free arcade games. We're going to have the esports tournament. We're going to have a ton of giveaways. It's going to be an absolute blast. But if you're not in Vegas, go to Pizza DAO, search up Pizza DAO, and there's probably a pizza party in your neighborhood. And it's who can say no to free pizza, guys?
My acid reflux can't. Thanks for
Except
asking.
for that. Take some Tums. You'll be all
I know,
right.
yeah.
You'll be all right.
Tums, Zantac, you name it, I got it all.
All right.
Mike, really want to thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. Appreciate all you do. I don't know how Stand with Crypto works. I'm pretty sure, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's all pretty much volunteer work, right?
That's right. That's
And
right.
so we definitely appreciate it. We're in a stage of crypto where we really need people like you and others that volunteer their time to go and do these things. And so for that, we thank you.
Well,
And as
before
Mike-
I go,
Yeah.
I want to interrupt you there. We do have the Bitcoin conference coming to Las Vegas here in
I
just about a
couldn't
week.
forget.
It's worth mentioning. We're going to have a great roundtable discussion with Stephen Horsford, our representative, but we're going to talk about policy. So the Bitcoin conference, the 27th through the 29th
Yeah.
here at the Venetian. And then the 29th and 30th, we have got the Litecoin Summit. It's
That's
an
right.
incredible summit. It's worth it. You guys got to check it out. Litecoin Summit, absolutely incredible. We're going to be hosting a luncheon on day 2, talking with Paul Poi from Edge Wallet and other presidents of the Nevada other chapters of Stand with Crypto. So come out to Litecoin Summit, come out to Bitcoin Conference. When you're coming to Vegas, come and see us, Vegas Crypto Group.
Amen to that.
And I want to give a shout out to Brandon, Satoshi Presenter, for being a great member of the community. He was on your show not too
Brandon's
long ago.
awesome.
Yeah,
Good
good luck,
dude.
Brandon.
Yeah. And then the XRP one too, right
That's
after.
right. That's
So
right.
hey, you make it a 2-week-long trip. Where else are you gonna find the nerve to tell your significant other that you need to go to Vegas for 2 weeks? This is your chance. Mike, thank you so much. We appreciate it, brother. And we look forward to talking to you soon.
Thanks for having me on.
Anytime, brother. All right. Well, take a look at this chart there, Rob.
We got a sell off.
Yeah, 1067. That's pretty insane here, my friend. I'm kind of looking at this move, and if we zoom into the 1 hour, you see, I'm just taking a look at volume. We saw like these little spikes in volume. We had a little bit of the increasing volume here on this move from 1062 to a close of 1091. And then we saw volume drop on the next green candle, and obviously prices dropped as well. What are your thoughts on this sell-off, Rob? And in fact, before you answer that question, you take a look at this. Over the last 1 hour, $95 million worth of crypto has been liquidated, with 92% of that being long positions. If you look over the last 12 hours, it's 287 million, but it's 50-50. Obviously, as price was going up, shorts were squeezed out. Now it's the opposite. Do you think there's, I hate to say this, man, but this kind of feels like 2021 where we had that first all-time high, 65K. The second one is 69. No follow through. We gave it all back fairly quickly, and then it was a bear market. Rob, to those people, I'm not saying I'm those people, but to those people, what do you say?
That there is no bear market
Just saying.
here around the corner, and so no, we're just testing previous all-time highs. Like that's all that
We
is.
made a new all-time high,
We would like to,
and we gave it all
yes,
back.
we know, but we did not